Sexual and gender-based violence, or SGBV, is a grave challenge across the globe, and Nigeria's tertiary institutions are not exempt. While these institutions are meant to nurture dreams and shape futures for many students, especially females, they can also become spaces of fear and silence. Increased reports of SGBV across Nigerian universities, polytechnics, and colleges paint a troubling picture. Students face not only academic pressures but also emotional and psychological distress resulting from harassment, intimidation, and violence. SGBV in these institutions not only threatens personal well-being but also undermines education. Many female students drop out, leading to a widening gender gap in education. To tackle this urgent issue, a research initiative acting together to end sexual and gender-based violence in Nigeria tertiary institutions was launched. The action-oriented study was conducted across 4 Nigerian states: Osun, Enugu, Kaduna, and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, encompassing both public and private universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education. The study was led by Professor Oluyemisi Obilade in partnership with other researchers, including Professor Olutoyin Mejiomi, Professor Akoni Akinyemi, Dr. Oluwatoyin Ilesanmi, Dr. Lanre Ikuteijo, Dr. Bisola Adebayo, Dr. Oyeyemi Babalola, and Mr. Tope Aborishade. The study sought to uncover the depths of SGBV in these institutions, understand its drivers, identify the perpetrators, and assess the quality of services available to survivors. Through this project, the team explored the causes, patterns, and prevalence of SGBV and further held discussions with key stakeholders. The research aims to build frameworks for achieving zero tolerance for SGBV, improve the response of higher education institutions, and promote justice for survivors. The study involved 4,142 participants, including 981 male and 3,161 female students, management staff, academic staff, and other key stakeholders within the higher education sector. The participants were drawn from institutions like Obafemi Awolowo University, Enugu State University of Science and Technology, Bowen University, Kaduna State University, Federal Polytechnic Ede, CAD Poly, FCT College of Education Zuba, College of Education Ilesha, and the University of Abuja, among others. The study reviewed alarming statistics. Nearly half of the female participants, 49.2%, reported experiencing some form of sexual abuse. Even the male students were not spared, with a significant number, 8.6%, reporting incidents of sexual abuse. Physical abuse was reported by 37.6% of females and 28.6% of males, while emotional abuse was reported by 21.1% of females and 31.4% of males. The data also highlights that discriminatory abuse affects 24.0% of females and 10.5% of males. The study identified multiple drivers of SGBV categorized into personal, structural, and environmental factors. Personal factors included financial difficulties, poor academic performance, and substance use. Structural factors, on the other hand, highlighted the inadequacies within institutions, such as unsafe spaces and poor security measures, all of which create environments that SGBV can thrive. In addition, environmental factors such as cultural beliefs and patriarchal dominance further fueled the problem. According to the study, the perpetrators of SGBV in these institutions are not limited to students alone. Academic and administrative staff, family members, strangers, and neighbors of students living off campus have all been implicated. The study's findings reveal a disturbing pattern of abuse that transcends the boundaries of the campus. Despite the existence of anti-sexual harassment policies and codes of conduct in institutions like OAU and CASU, awareness and implementation of these policies are shockingly low. In colleges of education, 71% of female respondents were unaware of any efforts to stem SGBV, and over 53% in universities share the same lack of awareness. To combat this menace and create safer learning environments, the fight against SGBV in Nigerian tertiary institutions requires a coordinated effort from all stakeholders, including state and non-state actors. These include NGOs, parents, religious bodies, community leaders, student bodies, academic and administrative staff, as well as relevant government ministries, law enforcement agencies, and the judiciary. There is therefore a pressing need for comprehensive policy actions and strategies to mainstream SGBV issues into the governance of higher institutions. This includes expanding initiatives to other institutions, ensuring sustainability, and improving access to justice for survivors. The research proposes several action points for various levels, institutions, regulatory bodies, and ministries to address the crisis and prevent future incidents. At the institutional level, campuses must establish anonymous reporting systems, provide safe accommodations for female students, and regularly conduct sensitization programs to raise awareness and reduce high-risk behaviors among students living on and off campus. In addition, stakeholders should foster a political climate that promotes female participation in school politics and create accessible avenues for victim rehabilitation. Furthermore, security patrols should be introduced and solar lights installed in ungoverned areas around campuses to enhance safety and deter potential perpetrators. Also, integrating issues related to SGBV and its prevention into the modules for general study programs will raise awareness among students, promote positive behavioral change, and foster a culture of respect and accountability within academic communities. Every Nigerian tertiary institution should establish a center for gender-based violence to raise awareness, provide psychological support, and empower students to tackle intimate partner violence. Institutions should also form an interagency committee on SGBV to support the implementation of relevant policies. The Ministry of Education, alongside regulatory bodies such as the Nigerian Universities Commission and the National Board for Technical Education, must strengthen existing laws and policies to prevent SGBV and ensure justice for victims. Bursaries should be awarded to vulnerable female students, rehabilitation centers and women's centers created, and more counseling psychologists need to be employed within institutions to provide psychological support to survivors. Law enforcement agencies must also streamline reporting processes and provide psychological support for survivors. This will encourage more victims to come forward and hold perpetrators accountable. In addition to these, institutions must establish structures that provide legitimate access to funds for students from financially challenged backgrounds. These could involve reactivating and expanding work-study programs or offering grants in collaboration with philanthropists and alumni. Also, the Dean of Student Affairs should distribute copies of sexual harassment policies to students during registration to ensure awareness. Lastly, institutions with radio and TV stations should incorporate SGBV prevention into their programming to promote advocacy and education. Supervisory agencies should also require institutions to develop and submit their sexual harassment policies to facilitate identification, education, and effective handling of SGBV cases. To support these efforts, this study will provide a skeletal framework to guide institutions in developing their sexual harassment policies. The ultimate goal is clear: zero tolerance for SGBV in Nigerian tertiary institutions. Achieving this requires the collaborative efforts of all stakeholders, from students to school administrators, regulatory bodies, and law enforcement. We must all act together to create safe spaces for every student to learn, grow, and achieve their dreams. The time to act is now. Together, we can end sexual and gender-based violence in Nigerian tertiary institutions. Note: these research projects will include some training documentaries to educate staff and students on the issue of SGBV as part of our contribution.